Welcome to E39 Source. Ryan Schultz here with the 2000 M5. If you remember, a few weeks ago we did the paint detail with the Zaino, put about 24 hours of paint work into this car. Talked about doing the wheels then, and that's what's going to happen now. Actually did this one last night. This wheel's far from perfect. The back ones are in better shape. But I did do a full wheel detail, as we may be calling it. Today I'm going to do it on camera, how I did it. Not at all insinuating that this is the best way to do it. This is the way you should, but this is the way I am. And if you'd like to, you can follow my steps. It's a lot smoother. I can definitely notice it's cleaner on the M5, the E39 M5 style 65 wheels. In these little grooves here, you get a little bit of orange stuff. I guess it's probably just brake dust buildup, since we can't really get that easily with towels unless we're really sticking our fingers in there, which actually hurts. In this process, going with clay bar, a couple soaps, and a metal polish does make that look a lot nicer. I also repainted my lugs when they were out. I do have a key on that one. I'm going to repaint this little cover for it as well today. But they look a lot nicer. They had gotten a little rusty around the edges where the sockets had taken the paint off. So that's my driver's front. Today I'm going to pull the car out. We'll jack it up. We'll pull off the passenger front, do the same process on it, and then the rear wheels being even wider, they'll be fun for another day. Well, we're definitely looking a little cattywampus now. Cars in the driveway, cars in the air. Check it out. Jack stand's too high for an M5, so we're using the next best thing. Bricks on either side of the jack. Most of the car's weight is supported right now by I believe it's a 2¼ ton hydraulic jack from Cornerstone, probably 50 years old. But I have a piece of wood in there holding that up, and then bricks on either side is kind of insurance. Anyhow, I trust that for now. The wheel's not going to be off more than maybe an hour and a half. Before you do put the car in the air, though, before the wheel is spinnable by hand like that, you definitely want to take your socket. If you're doing this on an M5, or probably most BMWs, these are 17 millimeters. So you'll want to get that. Just break them free. Don't take them off, but do the hard work of breaking them free. And then you can go ahead and put the car in the air, unscrew them, and probably have to kick the crap out of the wheel to get it off, unless it's been off in the last few months. Here's what we have. I kind of started the process off with getting a bucket, filling it with dishwashing soap and water. We're using dishwashing soap. It's stronger and more abrasive than regular car soap. I took it to the fender liner in here. You can see it's far from perfect. There's tar and stuff on it still, but I was able to clean that up. Just a little bit of dirt and mud off. Looks a little bit nicer. Did get some of that on the brake rotor. I'll have to clean that up. Caliper looks like hell. It's supposed to be silver. Mine is not. If I spray it with brake clean, a lot of that comes off and leaves behind some silver. A lot of the paint's worn off. I'd like to have these calipers painted or powder coated. They have the M on them. They're really nice looking calipers. They're, I think, $1,400 or $700 a piece from BMW. They work fine, but they don't look great. Took a wire brush here to this, clean that off, the mating surface to the tire. You can also clean that out a little bit if you so desire. But over to the wheel, been working on this. I took a sponge and then that dishwashing soap and water in the bucket that I mentioned before. Clean that off. Purpose behind that is it's going to take off the wax and anything that soap and water can possibly take off your wheel. If you want, you can actually reach in here. I can't. These wheels are too dense, and pop this thing out. You just push it from behind and it pops right out. I hit the tire as well. Might as well. While you have it off the car, check the tire for wear, check the tire for nails, anything that could inhibit performance or safety, of course. Now we're going to move on to the clay bar, so you can just rinse that off with some water, get the clay bar, and we'll go from there. If you watched my detailing video, we used the Zaino Z18 clay bar to go over the whole car. I'm going to be using the other bar. This one won't ever touch paint again since it's going to be used on wheels. But we'll be using one of those. This is not what it says. This is not Z6 Zaino. It's actually about 90% water. Actually, there's a cap and a half full of Zaino Z7 soap in here, mixed with water, shaken up, and that's going to be our lubricant on the wheel for the clay bar. So as we go over all of the painted surface of the wheel with the clay bar, we'll notice it'll be rough at first as we're taking off tar, road debris, maybe some brake dust, whatever's on there. And then once it's really smooth, that means you've got it about as clean as you can. I am not going to touch at all the inside of my wheel. I might clean off the mating surface with the wheel hub from the inside of the wheel here, but I am not going to clean the brake dust off the inside of here. You know why? Because I don't care about it. You don't see it with these wheels, and if I clean it, then I'll know that it's getting dirty and I'll want to deal with it. Right now it's dirty and I don't care, and that's the way I'd like to keep it. However, the outside I do care about, and that's what we're working on. The wheel has now been clay barred and dried off just with a normal towel. I'm going to move on to the AutoSol, which I actually can't find right now. So I'll go find that packaging, show you what exact metal polish I'm going to use, and then I just apply it with a cotton towel like this. Try not to use a lot on here. I don't need to go crazy because they're really not that bad, but it really just kind of brightens them up, a little bit more shine, and makes them feel really smooth. So I'll go find that, and we'll get back to work. Here's the metal polish that I've been using. Got it from, let's see, where does it say? The Eastwood Company online. It's about $7, $8 a bottle. AutoSol metal polish. I believe 100 is actually what you want. I've used quite a bit of it. It's originally a 75 milliliter, so what is that, 2.5 ounce tube of it, and I've rolled it up as I use it. Deal is, I'm done with the front wheels now. I've gotten both of those done. They're the worst wheels on the car. The back ones I think may have been refinished while they were still allowed to use the arsenic paint, so they match perfectly and they're in a little bit better shape than the front ones. Front ones aren't bad. They're just not great. Around here you can see the finish is wearing a little bit. There's really no curb rash on the front ones though. But as I said, this wheel is done. It now looks really good. So I'm going to put that back on the car in a few minutes. As I said, this thing just pops out. I'm probably going to replace these at some point. There's a little bit of corrosion going on in there. So maybe I'll pull a part number, get those. I'm going to clean off the brake rotor. We'll put that back on there. If you want, you could do a spray seal of the Z8, which wouldn't be a bad idea if you're using Zaino Z6 or Z8. Of course, the whole Z2, Z5, Z8 process would be great. If you want to use the materials and spend the time, then I'm sure it would look really nice. However, for me, this is definitely going to be good enough for now. These wheels aren't perfect. This car isn't perfect. It's got its fair share of imperfections. And we're going to Timmy Fest in a few days, which means they're going to get very dirty. So I feel they're protected well enough right now with the AutoSol. But that's my process that I use for these wheels. If you're not against using this spray wheel foam, I actually like it quite a bit. This is the Meguiar's version. I've gone through a couple of these since I've had the car. I just go around the sidewall of the tire here, shines it up, cleans it up, looks really nice. It's definitely easier to do with the wheel off the car too, because sometimes that spray can get on your fenders, make a mess. Make sure you don't put it on too heavy though, because then you'll drive, and like I did once and actually need to clean up, it shoots up on your fenders and all over your rocker. Go ahead and lift your wheel back up on the car. That's a fun job considering the size and weight of these wheels with tires mounted. Here's what we have. I put my freshly painted bolts back in. I'm going to go ahead and lower the car back down now, get some weight on the wheel. Right now it's still in the air and spinning freely. We're going to torque it down with this torque wrench to 79 foot-pounds, approximately 80 foot-pounds spec on these wheel lugs. So do that, and then after you drive it at least once, it's never a bad idea to check that again, see if they've loosened up at all. Guys, welcome back. It's now the 10th of June, about 2 o'clock in the morning. Excuse my phone going off, lots of text messages coming in. Anyways, both rear wheels are done. They turned out amazingly well. I'm really happy, really impressed with the way this worked out. I took off a lot of imperfections with tar in the corners. I would get little orange marks from brake dust. The back wheels now both really look nice. The car is completely backed into the corner right now. Fresh coat of Zaino Z6. It's locked, it's cleaned out inside. It's full of gas, and it's ready to sit for 10 days as I head back to San Diego with two of my very close friends. One drives a blue 525 and the other drives this. This may look familiar to you. This is Colton's 540i here in my garage in Ohio. We just got back from Timmy Fest yesterday. Check back here on E39 Source in a few days for the full coverage video of Timmy Fest. We had an amazing time at the 540s here, made it all the way from Maryland. He's got H&Rs on the back now. This thing sits about 3 inches lower than my M5. It's clearly noticeable if both cars are pulled in the garage the same way, but we're taking that to the airport tomorrow, so it's not backed in all fancy. But anyways, back to the purpose, the intent of the video. I really hope that worked out for you well with the wheels. As I said, I couldn't be happier with mine. It's a lot of work. Your back hurts a lot when you're done, but you get what is pretty much a factory finish wheel. It's really beautiful, especially for a car with 176,000 miles. I actually got compliments at the show for my wheels. So good luck with that. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to E39 Source. Much more to come in the future. Bye-bye.